Y'all already know what it is. Oh God, here you go. Y'all already know what it is. What it is. Now, I know it's late. I know it's late. I already said that it was gonna be late. I think it's important that I do these lives. You know, this is one series down. This is one series down. This is the final episode of this series. The next series, I'm in promo mode. So the next series is gonna tie into promo for the show. So promo is about to kick up in overdrive. Tonight we've done 10 episodes. This is episode 10. I've had fun doing this. The next one, it's gonna feel real different, but it's gonna still be extremely good. So let's talk about it, right? All right. This is the finish line. We're not talking about dating no more. You know, we talking about dedication. We're talking about what does it mean to give a lifetime of stability to one person. You know, what does forever look like? Now, speaking of this, right? I think I had a hard time putting this one together because forever didn't work out, and then, whatever. So, but I can talk about it, right? So I'm going to talk about it. Tonight, I want to use this song. And I really had a back and forth on what song to use for this one. And every time I tried to switch it up, Kenny Lattimore's For You just came through. And it's actually probably one of my favorite songs of all time, right? So let's talk about it. My man said, I give a lifetime of stability. Anything you want of me, nothing is impossible. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you, he capping on nothing is impossible part, because there's always going to be something that he can't do, which he's human. It's life. But I get it, though. The love that he had for this woman, he was going to go above and beyond. You got to love it. The ultimate promise, though, is I give you a lifetime of stability. You know how hard that is to accomplish, but as a man, that is pretty much all we want to do. And I think what happens with that is we tend to run, when things get rough. And sometimes when you get in this mode, the running is over with. Okay? That is the bedrock of this episode, stability. Stability is the soil where love grows. All right? I think what that means is your partner never has to guess when the bills are going to be paid, when you're coming home, or if your mood will change and shift violently. Stability is the antidote to chaos. All right? When you're single, your life, in more times than not, is chaotic, because you everywhere, you're every which way, you're trying to figure out who to deal with, where to go, where to run, who to get with. You're trying to figure this shit out. Stability is different though. You offering a peace of mind. You settled. You know what you want. That's more valuable than just the diamond ring. You are saying, I am your solid ground in a shaking world. The world will change, but I won't. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is impossible, right? When you're single, you operate within your own limitations. When you're with someone, that means something more than yourself. When you're married or you're about to be married, you operate with a shared purpose that removes those limits. There is no limits when you are taking that step and taking that bound as one, right? Love expands your capacity. You know, you think your capabilities are at a max, but love stretches that shit out a little bit more. You'll work harder. You'll forgive deeper. You'll endure more for this person than you ever would for yourself, because this is bigger than yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you still loving with conditions and limits, I can't do this. I can't handle that. I'm not ready for that. Then you aren't ready for this stage. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. This is the removal of the word impossible because from your vocabulary, because whatever your partner needs, impossible shouldn't be a limit. You got to go for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go for it. And I know a lot of times some people don't. Some people run for it and run for the hills when things don't go their way. It's life. It happens. You know. There are no words to show my love or all the thoughts I'm thinking of. He admits that words sometimes fail him. You know, this is where the action kicks in, though. It's not a speech. It's where the action kicks in. You show your love by waking up every day and choosing them. Even when they are difficult, even when life is hard, the life becomes the letter. You know what I'm saying? You don't just say, I love you at the altar. You got to prove it in the kitchen when you do the dishes. Prove it in the office when you grind it for the family at the 9 to 5. And you got to prove it in the nursery at 3 a.m. when them kids still up and alert. You know, you got to prove it. The proof is in the practice. All the thoughts I'm thinking of, you occupied by them. You know what I'm saying? That bachelor mindset is dead. You don't think about me anymore. You think about her, him, whoever constantly. You know, before you make a purchase, you think of them. Before you make a plan, you think of them. Your mental capacity is a little different. Real estate now belongs to the marriage. Like your thoughts, your mind, everything. You know, you ain't losing freedom. Don't ever think you're losing your freedom. Honestly, you actually gaining a partnership. You don't become a prisoner or nothing. You actually just become the warden, the captain, the whatever. Like this is your building. You run this building. You know, you run the building. You do what you're supposed to do. This is your building. I think sometimes we get scared of that type of commitment. You gotta love them because you want to. It's your vital sign. It's something that you do. It's who you are. You stop loving them, you stop living your truth. That is the difference between a partner and a spouse. A partner is someone you do things with, right? A spouse is someone you live through. A lot of times, like I said, people think about marriage as a life sentence. It is a life sentence. You are sentenced to a life of shared purpose. You know what I'm saying? Before this, you was just existing, surviving the dating game. Now you living. Okay? Your partner activates something inside your potential. You know, they're reason that you breathe a little bit, that you grind a little harder. You know, they give you your life a different definition than you lacked before. You realize freedom that you had before was just emptiness waiting to find this particular commitment. You know what I'm saying? You was waiting for this. And anything before this was really just practice. You know? The words, I'll be there, I'm here, they sound so simple, but sometimes that's the hardest promise to keep. Okay. Being there when it's ugly, being there when you are sick and not cute, and being there when you broke and stressed, that means you don't run when the mood shifts. You are the constant variable in their life equation, and you never changed up, you never left, you never ran. You know what I'm saying? Presence is the ultimate present. Like I said before, your physical and emotional availability can sometimes be the greatest gift you can give. You are the security, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. When you say I do, right, you signing up to be their shield forever. No, you standing between them and the world. You protecting their reputation in public and protecting their heart in private. And if you protect the future, everything that you're planning, you know, this is the job description. If you aren't ready to take a bullet, metaphorically or literally, for their peace, don't make this move, bro. This, whatever. Run for it, man. Like, a lot of times we don't, honestly, I think a lot of times people jump into things too quick or they're naturally ready. And it's scary when you do that because you really don't be knowing who you standing across from. But there are some people out here who know who they standing across from and they ready to take that leap. And like I said, if you ain't ready to catch bullets for this, stay out of it. Don't go for it. Don't do it. I think sometimes that's what it's about, though. You got to be ready. 110%, you got to be ready. Because at the end of the day, love is a tricky thing sometimes. It'll have you feeling one way, feeling like there's nothing greater. And then when you don't treat it right, it will sweep you off your fucking feet and knock you on your fucking ass. Yeah. That's what it did to me, you know. So I'm telling people, be ready, be mindful, be attentive to everything that goes on in this stage, because you don't have no leeway in this stage to screw up. All your leeway came in the dating phase. Over here in this phase, you don't have no leeway. I'm not saying you can't never screw up, but the simple basic screw ups, nah, that ain't gonna fly. You gotta know what you're doing in and out. Like, you gotta know exactly what it is. And in this song, I think bro was just letting y'all know, like, listen, for you, I'll do anything, you know? And I think that's important. I'm gonna tell you why that's important. Because I think when he was saying all roads end with you, he was just saying no matter where I go, no matter what I do, all roads end with you. And I think a lot of times too, when we get scared, we forget that. We forget that all roads end with where we started. The goal is to always get back home. That's the goal. The goal is to always get back home. The goal is to always get back to where we are supposed to get back to. You don't have to shift. You don't have to move around. You don't have to do any of that. The goal is to always get back to that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why people get married, because they want to have somebody to come home to and be up under and live around and grow and you know they want to be able to lick icing off their bodies and shit like that. Like they want that type of shit, bro. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people choose to run that. You know what I'm saying? Bro said, since we become one, I've made a change. Everything I do now makes sense. All roads end. All I do is for you. Okay? Before he met the one, he was just moving, just grinding without a destination. Marriage gives you a hustle and home. All the late nights, all the struggles, all the roads you traveled, they were all leading here. All right? Your partner is the context that makes your life make sense. You ain't just working for a paycheck anymore. You're working for a legacy. All right? This is the purpose. This is the greatest high. You know what I'm saying? The fear of missing out is over with. When you say I do, you burning maps to anywhere else. You burning them motherfuckers. You stop looking for exits and start building castles. All right. If you keeping a side road open just in case, you ain't merged your life yet. Total commitments mean there is no plan B. You know what I'm saying? Bro said one of the craziest things and I keep this. He said, I would change all my faults I have for you. There is no high, low, or in between, right? Of my heart that you haven't seen. What he's saying is, I ain't got no secrets. There's nothing about me you don't know. There's nothing about me you haven't seen. We always say don't change for a man or woman. Kenny Lattimore said, I would change all my faults I have for you. When you love someone this deep, you want to kill all your bad habits. You know what I'm saying? If you're smoking, you want to stop smoking. If you're yelling, you want to stop yelling. You want to stop being selfish. You know what I'm saying? Not because they forced you, but because your faults might hurt them. You know what I'm saying? You purifying yourself. And that's the fun thing about it. You're purifying yourself. There is no high or low of me that you haven't seen. We are fully known and still fully loved. They seen you broke. They seen you ugly. They seen you mean, and they stayed, right? The level of visibility is terrifying, but necessary. If you're still holding parts of your life and your history, and you blocking your blessing of unconditional love. A man said, every note that I play, every page that I write would not be filled without the things that my love for you now brings. Your spouse should be your battery. Man or woman should be your battery. They should fuel your creativity, your career, your ambition. If your relationship drains the creative energy, there is a leak. If it fills the pages of your book or your story that you're writing, then keep going. You need that. You should be better at your job because of who you sleep next to. I ain't gonna hold you. They are your silent partner. Every piece of success that you have. Real shit. Like real shit. Love ain't just for anniversaries and for public displays. Like your belief is that your partner is the voice in your head when you want to quit, when you want to give up, when you done. You write the pages of your life with the ink that they provide. That's the definition of a power couple. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't money, but it's mutual inspiration. It's mutual inspiration. Um, the man used fidelity. That's stronger than faithful. That means unwavering loyalty. You know what I'm saying? It means protecting marriage from intruders, from distractions, from your own ego, all of that. You know, now if eternity means this contract we about to sign, it don't expire. It don't expire when you get bored. It don't expire when y'all into it. It's permanent. The permanent lock on the door. You can't promise eternity. If you can't promise eternity, don't promise shit. The wedding ring is the seal on the deal. It's a visual reminder of every vow that you're about to take. But the ring has no power if the hand and the heart are not in it. All right? Real shit. Take the hand and heart, everything, you have to get a whole package. You can't give the ring but withhold the heart. You can't give the hand but withhold everything, like intimacy, and you know what I'm saying? It's all or nothing thing. It's all or nothing. You can't half-ass with this shit, man. Hear me clearly. You cannot half-ass with this. This is the end of the dating life cycle, but this is where life really begins. You fought through the confusion to find the clarity. You know, you found the person worth the stability. Now the real work and the real joy starts. The real explanation for this is simple. We don't get married to be happy. I think we already happy if we walk into that stage to get married. I think we get married to be holy, though. You know, to be set apart for one person. You know, to give your life away so you can find it in them. The sacrifice creates a joy that single life can never touch. You know, you do it for them and you'll find yourself. Real shit. January 10th. I always tell people what we doing for this show is going to be so amazing because it is actually going to be dope. It's going to be one of them. And I'm putting my heart and soul into it to make sure that it goes right. It is difficult. It is difficult trying to run and put so many personalities and so many formats and designs and everything in your head. It's difficult, but it's gonna turn out the way that it should. You're going to laugh. You're going to be entertained. You're going to get some real talk for some grown folks. So if you think you've been to a show or a concert or something like that, you ain't never been to nothing like this. And plus, Big Smash, one thing about me, I'm an entertainer. You gonna have a ball. Y'all already know what this is, man. The next series is coming. All right, it's coming. I'm excited. I'm in full promo mode. I'll explain all this live.eventbrite.com. You can go buy them tickets. Go buy them right now. And we're gonna do what we need to do. I think this gonna be one of them shows. All right. Believe that. Y'all already know what it is, man. I catch y'all when I catch y'all, and when I catch y'all, I catch y'all. I'm out.